soldier's religious freedom. Quote, "No weapons formed against me shall prosper," end quote, except perhaps a court-martial. Lance Corporal Manifa Sterling of the United States Marine Corps is seeking an appeal from America's highest military court in the hopes of overturning a decision by a lower court causing a reduction in rank at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina. This case puts religious freedom in the crosshairs, following a string of punishments levied against the officer. The trouble began before a 2014 ruling in which Sterling was ordered to remove the quote, paraphrased from Isaiah 54:17. The staff sergeant who gave the order, in accordance with the principle of separation of church and state, reported her attitude as combative. She complied at the time, but put the Bible verse up again the next day. For the First Liberty Institute, this is a matter of simple religious liberty, which lead attorney Mike Berry, citing the 1993 Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which Berry argues was, quote, intended this to apply to people in the military, end quote, according to a Washington Post interview. Quote, and there's never been a court case to decide if that's true or not until now, end quote. But for her superiors in the Marine Corps, this is a simple matter of insubordination, according to federal attorney Brian Keller in a hearing before a 5-judge panel. It has been noted that Sterling didn't even cite her religious beliefs until 6 months into the proceedings, according to Bradley Gerard of Americans United for Separation of Church and State in an interview with Military.com. It could be several months before a definitive ruling is reached. Sterling is also charged with dress code violations, in addition to defying the orders of a superior officer. As it stands, she is ineligible for veterans' benefits as a result of her discharge. Engineering a disappearance. Demographic engineering is basically a code word for a land grab in a war-torn district of religiously divided Turkey. Ongoing ethnic strife between Turks and Kurds is continuing in the form of confiscations of historic property. The government of Turkey has been provoking controversy through the seizure of several landmark Christian churches integral to the identity of the country's Armenian minority population. Recent fighting has damaged the Kurdish city of Diyarbakir, and Turkey has swept into the breach to seize control of the Sırp Giragos Church and other lands normally associated with the Armenian minority. A contributor to Armenian Weekly, Rafi Bedrosian, describes the city and district in ruins from rocket attacks and cannon fire, with local churches suffering varying degrees of damage. As the government takes official possession, Armenian journalists document, quote, Turkish police humiliating Christians in Sırp Giragos of Diyarbakir, largest Armenian church in the Middle East, end quote, according to the People's Democratic Party, or HDP, from postings on the group's English-language Facebook and Twitter pages. According to the HDP, churchgoers are described as infidels who need to be brought to faith, the correct faith apparently being Islam, despite the official secular position of Turkey's government. Nonetheless, Kursunlu Mosque, once a church itself until the 16th century, is among the buildings completely destroyed in the fighting. As sectarian strife over different flavors of the Abrahamic God riddle the region with bullets, Turkish historian Tanir Akam maintains that, quote, solving ethnic and religious strife through demographic engineering is a policy of the Turkish government that goes back well over a century, end quote. As the Kurds and Armenians are ripped from their ancestral homes at the barrel of a gun, Turkish President Erdogan explains the policy in Diyarbakir by stating the Turks will, quote, make the city into an international tourist destination. The right to discriminate. This is a free pass to discrimination in Tennessee, warns Hetty Weinberg, the executive director of the ACLU in the state, in response to Senate Bill 1556, signed into law by Governor Bill Haslam. This is the latest example in a long line of religious liberty acts, which in every case becomes coded language for anti-LGBT persecution. The latest example is no different. Bill 1556 addresses therapists and counselors, as evidently Tennessee finds a compelling state interest in finding ways to deny services to gays, lesbians, and transgender individuals. Using the language of sincerely held principles, counselors are able to reject LGBT clients. The governor denies that this bill addresses a particular group, and the final draft includes no specific references to particular religions. But religious beliefs in general are sanctioned as a means by which a mental health professional can determine whether an individual would be better suited by a different counselor. However, Eunice Rowe of the American Civil Liberties Union can read between the lines. Quote, about 100 of those bills invoke religion or religious beliefs as justification to refuse services to gay people. Others don't mention religion, but could result in discrimination, end quote. Tennessee follows its sister southern states, including Mississippi's own Religious Freedom Bill, described as hateful by U.S. Representative and civil rights activist John Lewis. While this form of religious liberty finds support from evangelists such as Franklin Graham, this route may need to get used to losing out on big business, as Nissan, Toyota, and Tyson Foods have denounced similar legislation. Every problem is caused by sex. A YouTube video in which an Alabama pastor shares his views on the danger of sex has gone viral. In his, at times incomprehensible, word-salad rant, he claims that sex kills brain cells, is the primary cause of homelessness, and that sex was brought by God as a means of punishing humanity for original sin. Quote, sex has never been ordained by God, end quote, the pastor claims, though it should be noted that he never backs up his assertions with any references to the Bible or any other holy book. In Genesis 1:26 it states, quote, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth, end quote, which, taken at face value, would seem to refute his claims. Science, it would seem, is also at odds with the good pastor. There is no evidence from the American Psychological Association that sex causes homelessness or low intelligence. In fact, actual science shows quite the opposite. According to a piece in The Atlantic, in experiments with mice and rats, sexual activity shows an improvement in mental performance. Sex increases neurogenesis, which is the production of neurons in the middle of the brain, the hippocampus, which is where long-term memories are formed. Like many before him, it would seem the pastor has simply decided to assert his subjective thoughts as the will of God without offering any evidence to back up his claims.